Hey everybody, it's Gary Lucas, and we're trying it another way. It got a little bit too hot over there by the window, so I've moved my base of operations, my performance space over here to my desk. So tell me how you like it. I don't know, it should sound the same, and hopefully the stream will not be interrupted through overheating. I think the consensus from everybody who knows about such things is that was what was interfering with the transmission of the last two live streams a little bit intermittently. And anyway, it's nice and cool over here, and I got the air conditioner blasting. Oh God, Conrad is gonna love me. Yes, okay, a little rendition of, a conflation of a couple of pieces of mine, an original entitled Bindlestiff Blues. Y'all know what a bindlestiff is, don't you? That's what an itinerant hobo carries over his shoulder. And, probably the same material you'd make a mask here. Here's that beautiful mask that Jonathan Luftig sent me, often confused for Grateful Dead mask, although I wouldn't be caught wearing no, I'm only kidding, because I do love the Dead. I love the early Dead, circa Live Dead and Anthem of the Sun and Axa Maxa, or however you're supposed to pronounce it, Axolotl, perhaps. About the time of Working Man's Dead, it kind of eluded me. My brother's theory, my brother Stuart, was that the Dead got really popular then with all of the sort of attempts at 4 or 5 part harmonies, because the singing is just a little bit off. It's not really Crosby, Stills and Nash standard. So that the theory went that, most of the fans were like, hey, I could sing like that. So that endeared that to them. But I don't know. When I came to New York, I saw this gigantic live Grateful Dead film. I think it was the Dead at Yankee Stadium, maybe, in a cinema, right around the same time I saw Mean Streets. And all I could think of was, what an unattractive audience they had. It seemed like every street person and speed and coke dealer, and them all were on that. But anyway, who am I to criticize there? And I do know that when I played with Bob Weir, he was very nice to me, and that was at the Bell Atlantic Jazz Festival. A couple of years going back, the Knitting Factory would run these big special summer festivals. New York is a summer festival, remember that from the Lindsay administration, one of their slogans. And this was down in Battery Park. And anyway, I had a friend who was roadieing for me, Bob Jacobson, one of my archivists and old buddies. And he showed up early hauling my gear on stage. And then he got to talk to Bob Weir. He wormed his way backstage. And Bob was very gracious and nice. And he said, oh, listen, we have a great guitarist who played with Captain Beefheart here. And he said, oh, yeah, well, okay, invite him on. So I went on stage playing my National Steel guitar, which I have over here, which I'll play later, my old 1920s thing. And they sat me down in the chair. And then I asked him before we played, I said, well, what are you going to play? And he said, well, do you know Friend of the Devil? And I said, yeah, I think so. And so anyway, we launched into what we launched, and we finished the number. But I was flummoxed when I got up there because I didn't realize that they were all using in-ear monitors, you see. And therefore, where I was situated, I couldn't hear shit. I couldn't hear what they were playing even, and I was not far away from the group per se, because all of the sound was going into their in-ear monitors and then out through the side fill PA out to the crowd. So there were no on-stage monitors. So that was weird, and to try and just listen really closely and hang on to a key was the order of the day for me. So I got up to go, and Bob said, hey, man, where are you going? Come on back here. So I went on back, and then he had me do another 5 songs for them. So I love Bob Weir and the Grateful Dead, and always sail with them. I don't care how many teeth are missing. I'm a fan. Anyway, I digress. Oh yeah, I mentioned Martin Scorsese, the great director. Mean Streets, one of my favorites, and has done so many great films. He's doing a new Showtime documentary about my buddy, David Johansen. And in fact, I had David on stage at the Bell Atlantic Jazz Festival. The second time I played there, but I think Bob or his manager didn't like that rock and roll heat I brought with me, so they didn't ask me to play with them on that occasion, but oh well. We had a good time anyway, and there's a clip of it up on YouTube if you want to search for it. So anyway, I digress, but people are always encouraging me to tell my stories, and God knows I've accumulated a vast treasure house of them. But while I got your attention, let me read this very lengthy list here. Mark Green, thank you so much. Mark took a lesson from me, and I am available for lessons too. Just contact me, Gary at GaryLucas.com. Let's make a deal. Christian Sabo, also thank you. I know these guys, I've got a new track, a studio track. It's beautiful. Me, solo acoustic, no overdubs, in a studio in Prague, Faust Studios, playing the hell out of this guitar through a Marshall stack. I mean, for a big sound that I can't quite achieve here, although I try. And you should check it out. It's called Take Me to Zakazbus. I'll tell you what, shoot me $20 over PayPal, where my address is Gary at GaryLucas.com, and I will personally transfer you a WAV file of that track for you and you alone, for your ears only. Don't you dare share it with your buddies. I'm trying to make a living here, and or at least put food on the table. Christian Sabo, Richard and Roberta Berger, thank you, buddies. I go way back with these guys, and they jumped on that track and liked it. And Richard wrote, Namaste, Gary. Now that must be Swahili or what? Yeah, I think actually Tibetan, maybe Urdu. Thanks so much. Love, R&R. That's Richard and Roberta Berger, great guys who've been following my work for years, part of the local downtown aficionados. There's still a hardcore of them clustered around the downtown music gallery. I want to give Bruce a big shout out for also featuring me in his newsletter from time to time. Tony Ammerman, you were also there. You've been there before. Richie Robinson, my UK pal, multiple donor of blood and treasure here. Barry Snaith, the incontrovertible jukebox. Barry, who's like one of the biggest posters here. I hope I got that right. He said I was going to send this amount anyway this weekend. Thank you. As another big thanks for your wonderful shows. To get the track as a bonus, loving all the music stores, and you're instantly likable and easy manner. I don't know what he's talking about here. Who is that guy? I don't know, because I've got my share of detractors, let me tell you, out there. But you can't be too careful with anybody, can you, these days? So I'm on guard. Not like Bob Dylan and Don't Look Back, but, I've got my eyes wide open. Gwen Carlill, I wish it could be more, Gary. Well, $20 would definitely get you a track, and I did send you a track. Your playing is helping me through a difficult time in my life. Well, that means a lot to me. Me too. It's helping me through a very difficult time in my life. And I love your music and your spirit. Well, I'm here to give to you guys, man. Give. I know that when I worked at CBS Records many years ago, the National Association of Music Manufacturers were looking for a slogan. I was a sloganeer. I wasn't involved in this. I just heard about it. About giving the gift of music. That was the slogan circa 1978. Give the gift of music. They wrote it everywhere on albums, shrink-wrapped albums. This is before CDs. Singles. They printed it on the labels. But in part of the pitch, one of the jobbers who was like manufacturing record sleeves showed up. I guess he was of the Jewish persuasion like I am. And he said, I have a single word for you that encapsulates the whole idea, and here it is. And he held up the sign, and on it was written GIVFT. And he went, gived. I guess that was short for give a gift. I don't know where the music came in, but, you get the idea. Too bad that one didn't fly. That would have been something to save over the years. Okay. Jay Dougherty, my old friend from Yale, and a hell of a rocker guitarist in his own right, who led the band The Rockets, was a fixture on the Yale scene and at reunions. Thank you, man. Hope you enjoy the download. David Getz, or Gertz, Goetz, very happy to support your music. The live streams have been a joy to listen to, and a joy for me to play for you. I love this. It's therapy for me. I'm keeping my wits and my fingers sharp and my technique up there anyway, so everybody benefits. James Harleth, Men of Harlech, thank you. Thanks for Asker Schneck. I love your name, man. Do you know Asker Yorn, one of my favorite artists? Anybody named Asker is good by me. Chris Clark. Now there's a name that sounds like one of the Birds. I'm thinking of Mike Clark. Phil Stutt, again, you came through. Earn Dollars at Home is his moniker. I love that. And Clinton Fisher, so a whole bunch of people supported this. So, all right, I'm talking too much. I'm going to do If I'm Without You. This is an arrangement of a beautiful song by Bai Guang, one of the so-called 7 great singing stars of Shanghai, who emerged in the late 30s and on into the 40s until she was sort of drummed out of Shanghai and mainland China because of political differences with the incoming regime, and died in Taiwan. And a journalist in Taiwan who knew her and saw her perform there, where she's buried, said she was the Mae West of China, which I love. I love Mae West. There was a great documentary on Channel 13 PBS just about Mae West recently. So here we go. If I'm Without You. Yes, I just taught Mark Green at least half of that song yesterday in a lesson that we did over FaceTime, and he's working hard on it now. And so can you. All the tricks of my trade, and I got a lot of them, are available at the touch of your fingertips here. Something like that. Yeah. Okay, that's some of my Chinese pop music for you, my arrangements, and most of that comes on an album called The Edge of Heaven. Gary Lucas plays mid-century Chinese pop. Now, this should be back in my merchandise shop. I believe this weekend we had a little problem with fulfillment, according to the people that we use, but my webmaster, Tanya Weeman, tells me the bug should be worked at. So please do visit the merch page, because you can find all sorts of goodies there, personally autographed by me, including my book, Touched by Grace. And here, Caroline is going to make a pop-in. She's going to make an appearance. This is exciting. Oh no, she's working hard. Well, she just entered the list here with Lulu. And anyway, this is a peculiar position for me to be playing in front of this desk. So I'm just trying to get my balance here. All right, I'm going to play electric guitar now. And in order to do this, I had to put an extra long guitar cable on the old 66 Strat here, because I've set up with a GK 250ml little amp over in the corner. I'm too lazy to pull out the effects for you, unless you really send me some stupid money. They're staying put for the time being, or we'll save that for a rainy day when I'm back on stages live in the world. When will that be, I wonder? I wish Fei Fei Yang was here to sing this with me. This is called Seeing Older Brother Off. Yeah. That's a little number called Hot and Cold Everything. And there's a full band arrangement available on our record, The Ordeal of Civility, which Jerry Harrison played and produced on, along with the great Ernie Brooks on bass guitar and vocals, Jason Candler on saxophone, Joe Hendel on trombone. We had some special guests on that album, guest vocalists, guest players. Check it out, What's Not to Like. I'll finish with something on the National Steel guitar. I promised this to you guys, so what will it be? Can you see? Let's look at this. Should probably stand up and play this. That means getting a little knee action going here. Oh. Well, this is not the most advantageous view, I guess, but it'll have to do anyway. You can use your imagination. a man, sailing alone and doing the best I can. Yeah, all right, well, that's gotta do it for today, and I will be back. I'll be back Saturday. I can't wait to play again for you. And until that time, if you would like to hear this new track of mine, which is so superbly recorded by my guy Richard Matter, aka Faust, in Prague, please shoot me $20 through PayPal, and this thing will be winging its way to you imminently. Until that time, really take care of yourself, stay cool, wear a goddamn mask. I mean, maybe people are starting to get the message, maybe, but, I was in a deli yesterday getting coffee for me and Caroline about 9 a.m., and the guy next to me was not wearing the mask, and when he was leaving, I mentioned this, aren't people supposed to wear masks? To the counter clerk, very nice Coptic Egyptian Christian lady, and another guy behind me said, "Hey man, what did you say? You want to step outside? I'll punch you in the face." I mean, threaten me. I wasn't even talking to that person, but just even the fact that I raised the issue of you're not wearing masks in the store is enough to drive people batshit crazy here in New York. And I don't know about the rest of the country, but maybe they know something we don't, but I doubt it. Anyway, until such time, stay out of trouble. I know I'm keeping stum. Love you guys. See you on Saturday at 3 p.m.